Let's take a look at solving a formula for one of its variables. So this is also referred to as solving literal equations. And we're just taking a formula and we're solving for a variable. So for the first formula, we have volume equals length times width times height, and we are solving for L. So it's telling us we got to solve for the variable L. So volume is equal to length times width times height. So we want to solve for L. What operation is being performed between L, W, and H? That's a common mistake that people make, is like, I don't even know how to undo all these operations. Like, what is happening between L, W, and H? How do I get rid of W and H? It's just like a normal equation. If you had x plus 2 equals 5, how would you solve for x? You would subtract 2 because you want to get rid of the plus 2. If you had 2x equal to 6, it's 2 times x. How would you get rid of the multiplication of 2? You would divide by 2. You would have to offset that operation. Same thing here for solving for variables. If I have L times W times H, I have to then divide by W and H because I want to get rid of that times W times H. So then I get rid of the W and H. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So I'm left with L is equal to the volume divided by W and H. It's just like if you had the distance equals rate times time formula, and I said to solve for T, you would have to divide by the rate because you want to get the T by itself. You want to say I have distance, I have rate, I'm trying to figure out what time is. You'd have to divide by rate. It's the exact same process. So in number 9, we're solving H is equal to 5AS plus 10A, and we're solving for S. So where is S? S is embedded all the way in here. So we have a lot of work that we have to get around to get that S out of there, or S by itself. So first of all, I have this plus 10A. So I want to subtract 10A, just like if you had 5x plus 7 equals whatever, 17. Make it up something. And I had to solve for x. I have to get rid of this minus 7. I have to get rid of this division of 5. So I have to offset quite a bit. So I'm going to subtract 10a. I'm left with 5as is equal to h minus 10a, because I subtracted 10a from both sides. So I moved over this 10a. I got rid of this plus 10a by subtracting it. So now I have s by itself. And I just rewrote it just so the variable that's unknown is on the left side. It doesn't matter though. You could have left it as h minus 10a equals 5as. Now I'm solving for s still. I'm trying to get s by itself. What operation is being done to s? There's 5 times a. So I'm going to divide by 5a. Now notice on the right side of my equation, I have this entire statement. Let me rewrite that. 5a. I have this entire statement, h minus 10a. So I have to divide everything by 5a. Divide by 5 is 1. A over a, 1. So I'm left with s is equal to h minus 10a all over 5a. And that's perfectly fine. I know you can also get 5. I know you can then do this. Like if you left it like this, that's probably fine. But you could take this a little bit further and say h over 5a minus 10a over 5a. And then you'd be able to simplify 10 and 5 in a. So you'd have s is equal to h over 5a minus 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then the a's cancel. But I'd be completely fine with this. And if you did that, that's also fine. Last one, solving for d. We have d right here. It says n is equal to f plus d times n minus 1. So I have d here. And I need to get that by itself. So first of all, d is being multiplied by n minus 1. So I have to get rid of that multiplication of n minus 1. What else do I have to get rid of? I have to get rid of this plus f. So I'm going to have to subtract f from both sides. First, I'm left with d times n minus 1 is equal to n minus f. Now I have the multiplication of d times n minus 1. Don't think too much into this. Like, don't think, oh, I have to distribute because I see distributive property there. Like, that's always like a knee-jerk reaction of like, oh, distributive property. I don't have to. Because it's d times n minus 1, I have to just divide by n minus 1. So that leaves me with just, sorry about this, d is equal to, I'll go down here. D is equal to n minus f over, in parentheses, n minus 1. And this one we don't need to like branch off like how I did in the last one. like how I was able to say, well, h over 5a and 10a over 5a. The reason I did that is because I saw this simplification that can be made here. This isn't going to do anything. It'll just be n over n minus 1 minus f over n minus 1. Doesn't do anything for us. Just leave that as is. And that one is finished then. So that last one, a little bit tough because a lot of people will see that d times n minus 1 and boom, like they'll try to just distribute. We do not need to distribute there. Just leave it alone and understand how to get that d by itself.